I didn't notice that at the one I stopped at.
Right up here?
Yeah, up in Schenectady.
Yeah, really?
It looked like a regular.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know what's regular anymore.
The way things are going, Ed, and I might be getting a job at Dunkin' Donuts. You know how things are going with this economy, and our accidental Governor Patterson trying to take more money out of our pockets. I think I'd rather have the whore-loving Elliot Spitzer as our governor than have this AGP reaching into my pocket saying, you know what, I know we signed a contract for your raise, but you're not getting it.
They want to take the...
Don't they want to take a week's pay from you?
And a week's pay that Cuomo did to me, and that's why he's not the governor anymore.
And they're going to give it back to you when you retire.
I don't want it when I retire.
You want it now.
I want it now. I don't work 10 days for 9 days pay. I don't do it. I barely work 5 days for 10 days pay.
They love to go to that lag thing, though.
Yes, it is.
And then if they don't approve the lag thing, they're going to lay off the state workers.
Oh. You know, Ed, Patterson has used the theory that, you know, the contract that you state workers, if you haven't guessed, I'm one, signed. When you signed the contract, we were in better economic times. Hence, the contract really shouldn't be, because we're not in those same economic times. But I tell you this, Ed.
Yes.
And you at home. If we signed a contract when we were in dire economic straits and we didn't get a raise, and then suddenly Patterson says, oh, an $800 million surplus. And we say, hey, we signed that contract when it was poor economic times. Now that it's better, can we get some of that? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Now, do you think the union is going to fight for us, Dave?
I think our union will cave.
Weak.
It is the worst union.
You can't go on strike. It's against state law. So what can you do? Just, what can you do? I don't understand that. We can't go on strike. Our union is caving already, Ed. They already are. There's indications. A couple of weeks ago, our union president, Danny Donahue, said, this is appalling. Under no circumstances will we give back our raise. Approximately a week after that, he said, we will never give back our raise unless they give us some sweetener.
Is that the word he used?
That is the word he used.
He's the only one that's going to see the sweetener, I bet.
Now, rest assured, an extra pair of eyeglasses is not what I call a sweetener.
That's the sweetener we get.
You know, hey, we gave you back, you know, the extra $2,000 you were going to make next year. You don't got that anymore. But you got your eyeglasses.
$100 at the Empire Vision.
Yeah, Empire Vision. I can't even understand what those guys are saying to me. Better one, better two, better three, better four. What is that? I walk out of there with worse vision than I walked in.
I'll tell you, I went in there one day, and they had to go into a special room for one of the tests.
You got a massage.
There was a woman sitting there in a full burqa when I walked through the door. I didn't know where I was exactly.
Wow. I didn't know they weren't giving you your raise.
Well, they're considering it. I've heard two terms being used. We'd like to delay the raise, or we'd like to eliminate the raise.
Oh.
Now, of course, I prefer a delay to an elimination. I prefer to get what I actually negotiated for. Surprisingly, legal contract signed. Might not get it. How can they do that, you ask? It's the government to do whatever the hell they want. That's what they do. AGP. That's what he is. Accidental Governor Patterson.
Isn't it? Well, haven't we found that the men in office who are receiving pleasure are happier and do a better job and are all wrapped up?
Apparently they do.
Now, a man who's bumping his forehead into his sink when he walks around the house probably is very angry.
Yeah, I don't get it. Because, you know, the guys that are doing as you say, you know, they got other things on their mind. They don't care about what's going on everywhere else.
Whatever,
you know,
give them a contract.
They want a raise, give them a raise, because I'm getting my raise later tonight.
I'll tell you, the only time they didn't shut down the air conditioning in our building was when Spitzer was in there. Every other time in the summer when it starts getting in the 90s, we got to save energy. We got to shut down the air conditioning. Not that one summer Spitzer was in.
Spitzer was good. He just got caught.
That's
Fine.
right. He used his own money.
Yeah,
He didn't use
who cares?
the man had money all over the place, so he just paid. Have you seen Silda?
Uh-huh.
You know, the poor woman standing next to him while he says, yeah, I did hookers.
I have sinned against you.
My God.
Everybody's
Yeah.
getting a little nookie. It's not...
Say this before we move along, because we have to. I'm not just ragging on the governor because he's hurting the poor state employees, which I'm one. But why is it that the little people, the people who do things properly, the people who buy their homes, live within their means, don't get one of these obscure mortgages, don't do something stupid, always end up paying the price? Why is that, Ed? Do you know why?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I thought you might have the answer
I
for
don't
it.
have the answer.
I thought I was going to walk away today with the answer.
You're not going to have the answer because no one has the answer. Because the idiots that don't know how to run businesses like GM, oh, let's bail out GM. Why? Because they suck. We need them. Let's bail out all these mortgage companies, these banks. Why? Because they're idiots giving away their money to people who have no reason to buy these mortgages and these houses. No reason. But yet the people like me who buy a home at a reasonable price, based on my income, now have to pay probably higher taxes, have a difficult time getting credit. Why? Because there's too many banks giving away stupid-ass mortgages. And we have to suffer.
And how did that happen, Dave? Do you know that?
How did it happen?
Yeah, how did we get that?
How did we get what?
Do we blame Bush for that one, Dave?
No, I think we blame...
The banks.
I
Those
think,
are the
yes.
greedy mortgage companies.
I wanted to blame Bush for that, but I
Well,
guess we can't.
I don't think you really can. I mean...
I think
I
think it all eventually caught up with them because they did it for so long and so many years, and then so many people defaulted.
Right. And I'd like to, you can blame the people for getting these ridiculous mortgages that were outside of their financial means.
I think I can get a home in Loudonville.
But you know what?
No problem.
But when you are pushing the American dream on people, they want to live in a house, they want to buy things that they normally wouldn't be able to, who wouldn't do it? And when they can't make the payment, now all of a sudden these banks start going wacky, and it's our fault. And I don't buy it. And just because our stupid government in New York State projects all this income coming in, and they have their budget all set up based on Wall Street, and then Wall Street tanks, it ain't my fault. It ain't Ed's fault.
Not mine.
It ain't, what's your name again?
Ted.
Ted's fault. It's no one's fault, except for the idiots in government. And by the way, do you think AGP is going to give up 3% of his raise? Nah, not happening. Not happening.
To say a day.
All right, what movies we got coming out?
We have 2 more movies to do. But I think we can get those in. And then we have to do that Thanksgiving quiz. I think we should do the Thanksgiving quiz over these movies. No, we got to get... I know, I spent a lot of time.
And you don't tell us you're taking money away from us right before the holidays!
Here you go, Dave.
Oh, I gotta read
Take
something.
a deep breath
Okay.
and...
When do I
Take your
read?
mind off of it.
Do I read right now?
yeah.
Oh. This is Four Christmases, starring Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon, Robert Duvall. He's still alive, Robert Duvall?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
sure.
John Favreau, Mary Steenburgen, Dwight Yoakam, Tim McGraw, John Voight, Sissy Spacek. When upscale, happily unmarried San Francisco couple Kate and Brad find themselves socked in by fog on Christmas morning, their exotic vacation plans morph into the family-centric holiday they had, until now, gleefully avoided. Out of obligation and unable to escape, they trudge to not 1, not 2, but 4 relative choked festivities, increasingly mortified to find childhood fears raised, adolescent wounds reopened, and their very future together uncertain. By the way, this film has some sexual humor and language.
Oh.
Look at that shit.
Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. What are they teaming?
I think Vince Vaughn and John Favreau also have a history of filmmaking together.
Yeah. What was that? Swingers?
Swingers is one. There is another very obscure film they made a few years back where I can't remember the name of it, but John Favreau played a boxer. Peter Falk was in it, so it was a real good one.
Pardon me, man.
Okay, why don't we get to Transformer 3 so we can get all of the...
Or Transporter.
Transporter 3. not Transformers 3. We're not around to that yet. Transporter 3, we'll take a look at that, and then we'll try and get everything in here.
Oh, I'm sorry I wasted so much of our time.
Oh, no, it was quite enjoyable.
Very nice.